So today we are going to be checking out the Kingbolen K6 Pro. Bi-directional scanner, capable of a whole lot of cool stuff. Just want to show you guys right out of the box what you guys get. So you get a ton of adapters for different types of vehicles. Say you're working on vehicles not in North America, they have different types of OBD outlets, ports to connect to. It comes with this cool battery clamps, because this scan tool is capable of testing batteries. It's fully bi-directional, can read all data streams, perform all active tests, and customize special dealer-specific settings, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. Clear or reset oil pressure lights. Whole lot of stuff that we're going to dive into. Just want to show you guys what you get out of the box. It's quite a big box. For today's video, we're just going to be using the standard OBD2 port, which converts to VGA, which comes into the scan tool itself. You can see it's got a nice little band around it, kind of hold it like a tablet style. Also has a camera, USB port on the side, USB-C as well for charging, power button on the other side, and the VGA input port on the bottom, as well as another port which I believe is for the battery tester. And it even has a built-in printer, so you can print out the results or whatever you're trying to print out with this scan tool. So we'll just knock this out of the way. Price on this bad boy goes for $549 currently in October of 2023 on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description below if you are interested in picking one up. They offered it $100 off, so about $449. If any of you guys feel like purchasing one, by all means, use the discount code, save yourself some money. I am going to be giving away this exact scan tool. Kingbolen was nice enough to offer a second one so I can do a giveaway, so we'll get details on that giveaway sometime during the video. Stay tuned. Let's get that watch time in this video and you can win yourself one of these scanners. Another thing I'd like to add in is it comes with 2 years free updates for all the new models coming out and any new updates that they decide to add to the scan tool. After that, you do have to pay for the scan tool, but I believe you can still use the scan tool. You just won't be able to download future updates. So say like in 2 years it runs out and you want to work on like a 2026 Toyota, you might have limited capabilities of what this scan tool can do or can't do. But yeah, just a quick overview again. Multiple connections. User manual, spare fuses, the battery connect cables, different power outlets for depending on what part of the country you're in, because the scan tool can pretty much read all types of vehicles, Europe, Asia, American, everything you'll see once we get into this. But yeah, sorry I sound a little funny. I've been under the weather like this whole week, but I really needed to make this video and get this content out for you guys. I've been lagging it like always, but without further ado, let's go ahead and plug it into my 2017 Lexus and I'll show you guys some of the features. We also got a little puppy condo we added for the dogs, so they can sleep nice and cozy during the winter time. So far, he's loving it. So for most of the video, we're going to be testing it on this 2017 Lexus CT200H, which is basically a Lexus version of a Prius. So basically a Toyota Prius with Lexus badging and leather inside. But go ahead and plug it into the OBD2 port, and we'll go ahead and turn the vehicle on. Alrighty, so we are hooked up now. This is basically the main menu of the scan tool. See, we got diagnose, maintenance, if you want to just reset your oil light real quick, battery to test the battery, TPMS, if you want to read fault codes or figure out which tire pressure sensor is not reading, or if you want to register new tire pressure sensors to the vehicle. Reports, update if you need to update the scan tool, settings, and video scope. If you did purchase one of their video scopes, you can also hook it up to the scan tool, which is kind of cool. We'll just go straight to diagnose. And you can see right here, it's going to show you all the makes that this thing is capable of connecting to and working with. There's a ton of brands in here. A lot of these I don't even recognize being in the States. We don't have half of these vehicles. But if you wanted to go up top, you can select a certain region and pick right out of there. But we're just going to go ahead and auto detect. We're hooking up. Next, it's going to ask you another question. We're going to hit North America and let it connect, do its thing. This vehicle does not have radar cruise, so you can see right here it already displays the VIN, vehicle model number, engine type, year, and odometer reading. So that's kind of cool. If you wanted to verify, you say you're looking at a new car, you could already know right off the bat if the odometer matches, or a used car per se. So this is the first menu it's going to bring you to. You can see we have a health report if we just want to scan through all the ECUs to pull up any trouble codes. System selection if you wanted to go into a specific ECU. Service function to do special functions. Customize settings to customize any of those settings, like I was talking about the dealer specific ones, like setting door lock settings, stuff like that with the unlock, lock features. Vehicle information, engine check. We're going to go into all this, but we'll start off right now just running a health check. And this is basically going to scan every single ECU in the vehicle, and it's going to let you know if you have any fault codes, which ECU they're located in, and it'll also give you the code. So we'll go ahead and just let this scan. You can see though within just a couple seconds it's already like almost halfway done. So while we're waiting on that, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. That's how my YouTube channel gains more traction, is watch time hours. But for the giveaway, if you guys are interested in winning one of these for free of charge, Kingbolen's gonna send it right to your house. All you gotta do is be located in the US, and for this giveaway, just drop a comment, maybe let me know where you're at in your technician career path, whether you're an at-home DIY guy or you're working in the dealership as a lube tech, you're a flat rate tech, working at an independent shop, maybe Pep Boys, let me know. And I haven't decided if I'm gonna do just a random spin wheel or just read one of the comments and select one of the people that I feel like deserves this scan tool the most. So that's all you gotta do, guys. Be located in the US and drop a little comment about your background experience and where you're working at now. Alright, so the health check is complete. You can see we have one code in the hybrid control system, which I wasn't aware of until today, but we have all the ECUs here that it also scanned. You can see everything came back clear. I like how, since it only has one fault code, it already throws you the code. That's a P3000 battery control system. These codes typically pop up with we have the hybrid cooling fan behind the back seat. It gets plugged up with lint and dust, and it restricts the airflow to the hybrid cooling system. And I'm pretty sure I just got to clean out that lint and then I'll be able to clear the code. Typically, if you have like a Prius or something, a message will pop up and say hybrid cooling system malfunction, and you won't have a check engine light. It'll just say that weird message, and you would need a scan tool in order to clear that code. We could clear it, but I'm gonna wait till I clean it out and then I'll clear it. But coming in here, this is in the hybrid ECU, control ECU. So you can see we have our data streams right here. If I can get the camera to focus, sorry guys. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Read data stream. So yeah, in the data stream, this is for the hybrid ECU. So you can see there's 274 available data lists that you can view. I'm sure there's like a maximum on how many you can view at once, but typically you wouldn't need to view more than like 5 to 10 maybe at max. But you can see there's a ton just in this hybrid ECU, but we're gonna go ahead and hop out and go to, well, I'll show you the data streams in a second, but read fault code if you wanted to read if you had multiple codes, clear fault codes, freeze frame data if you had freeze frame data stored, read data streams, actuation test. See, there's a couple of special features in here that you can do, or special functions, as well as special functions. Special functions, although we're in one ECU, the cool thing about this is if you go to the customize settings, you'll be able to customize all the settings for basically all the ECUs. So a lot of the customizable settings that I find people like are located in the body control module, and those settings would be like maybe turning off the chime when you're driving without the seatbelt on. I know a lot of people don't like that and they would like to turn it off, and it's cool if you have a scan tool like this, you could turn that setting off, or if you are one of those people who unbuckle your seatbelt before you get to your destination, it doesn't have that ringer keep chiming out your ears, as well as going into reverse. Some vehicles will constantly beep at you when you're in reverse. You can change it to where it doesn't beep at all sometimes, or just have a one beep on initial putting it into reverse. As well as the door lock on this vehicle, when you put it in drive or reverse, it automatically locks all the doors. And when you go back into park, it unlocks all the doors. So some people don't want all the doors to unlock when you put it in park, because maybe they're in a drive-thru and they don't want all the doors to unlock just because they put the vehicle in park. You can go ahead and change that setting. So I'm actually gonna change that setting right now, but you can see right in here, you have all these other customization features that you can change to your liking. Say with the smart key, some smart keys you hit the lock twice to lock all the doors, or vice versa, hit the unlock button twice to unlock all the doors. You can have it where you just hit the unlock once and it unlocks all the doors. So we're gonna go ahead and change that feature. I'm putting it in park on this vehicle. So right in here, the auto unlock shift, we don't want that on. So we're gonna go ahead down here, set, off. Now, once we put it in gear, it should lock all the doors because you're gonna get on the road moving. But once we put it in park, now the doors remain locked. Some people just prefer it like that. I'm gonna leave mine like that. So yeah, depending on how many features your vehicle has, I mean, again, like if your car doesn't even have smart key access, a lot of these features are gonna be kind of useless for you because there won't even be any customizable settings. But a lot of these features are nice to be able to have control to change them yourself versus going to the dealer and having them program something and charging you an hour labor rate for something that you saw just takes like 2 minutes to do. So we're gonna back out of here. We're gonna go into the engine control module. This one I feel like has the most useful data streams. Say you were working on how to check engine light something. Go ahead and pull up a couple live data streams so you guys can just see it in action. So I just picked a couple random ones just so you guys can see. We got like all cylinder misfire, cylinder individual misfire count. So say you're looking to see like when a specific cylinder was misfiring, you can go ahead and view this data stream. You got the water pump speed, the engine RPM. You can see the refresh rate is pretty fast on this. It's almost like instant. As far as the RPM, intake air temp, mass airflow readings. This is a hybrid, so it won't stay on unless you hold the gas, so I put it in service mode, but for the purpose of this video, I just want to show you guys some of the live data streams right here. But yeah, this is pretty cool to have when diagnosing, and coming from the dealership, it always impresses me that these aftermarket scan tools, because it's like they're making them so advanced now, where it's like they do everything that the Toyota TechStream would do at the dealership. So it's like less and less reason to bring your car to the dealership if you are someone who likes to do a lot of stuff on your own. Just having a little scan tool like this, if it's bi-directional, you can get a whole lot done. See, there's a ton of data streams that you can view. This is just in the engine ECU. And now coming back, we're still in the engine ECU. This is the activation test, which is basically special functions. Say you wanted to control something in the engine bay, activate the cooling fan, see if your radiator fan's kicking on when it's being commanded to. Activate the electric water pump. Stuff like that. And if you were to go into like the body control module, you can also do a lot of other useful special functions, like command the doors to unlock or lock, control the mirrors, tell them to rotate a certain way, activating the horn, activating certain lights, coming to the blower mode. You can set the scan tool to activate the blower mode to increase the blower speed. So say you had a vehicle that the blower speed wasn't going past the first bar, and even though you're hitting the high speed, nothing was happening. You can go in with this scan tool and command the blower motor to increase fan speed. And if it increases fan speed, then you can rule out and be like, okay, I got a problem somewhere with the switch. Either the wiring to the ECU is bad, or the switch itself is not sending that input. Or say you had the vent issue where it's like you had it on the face speed or the face output and it was only blowing air out of the feet. And you can go in the scan tool and control it to just blow air out of the specific vent that you want, and you would be able to further diagnose the issue that you're having. So just little stuff like that really makes a scan tool like this useful. Cars nowadays, they're so electronically controlled, and having a scan tool like this where you can go in there and activate an electronically controlled feature and see if it works, then you know that that function is working fine. You just have a problem with the input, whether it be a switch itself or a wiring or something like that. It just really helps, and it's nice to be able to control all of that through something as small as this guy. I know it may not look that big or beefy, but this scan tool right here does about everything and more than some of the scan tools that I've shown previously on this channel. So just give you an example, we are in the AC ECU right now. We go into active test, go ahead and go to the blower mode. And right now it's blowing in low speed. Say we had a problem like I was saying where you're bumping up the pressure or the speed and nothing's happening. You can come in here. Right now it's on 1. Go ahead and bump it up. You can see the blower speed has progressed, and you can hear the fans too blowing a whole lot louder. So that's what I'm talking about with active tests, just giving you the capability to control specific components through the touch of a finger to verify what's going on and to help really figure out what your actual problem is versus just throwing parts at it, taking a guess. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the basis of this. Obviously, if I were to go into every ECU, this video would probably be like 2 hours long, but you guys get the gist of this, and I'm sure most of you guys looking into a scan tool like this kind of already know how to use a scan tool. If not, this one is very user-friendly. I didn't feel like I had to jump around a bunch of hoops in order to get to where I wanted to get to. But we'll go ahead and back out of here. To show you some of the other stuff in here, we got maintenance. Shows you all the stuff that this scan tool is capable of doing, but I wish it would maybe like connect to your vehicle first and kind of highlight what your vehicle can do, because obviously like this is a hybrid gasoline engine. We're not going to need no diesel particulate filter reset function. So there's a lot of functions on here that the scan tool may be capable of doing with a certain vehicle, but as far as many vehicles, half of these features you won't really have a use for or be able to use. So battery test, we're going to go ahead and try that on my Chevy Silverado in a second. But coming over here, we have TPMS. This would be if you wanted to program sensors, which is pretty cool. If you were to just buy your own sensors or even figure out what sensor is not reading. So different makes do their tire pressure sensors a little differently. With Toyota, each sensor has a sensor ID, which will be printed on the tire pressure sensor itself. So if you were to go into the live data and view all the sensors and you see one sensor is reading 0 psi even though it's full of air, you can come in here and be like, okay, it was that left front sensor. So you know that when you pull out the tire pressure sensor, if it has that code on there, then you know that's the bad tire pressure sensor, and you can replace that, take note of the rest of the sensor IDs, and then when you go to calibrate it, you can plug in all these sensor IDs with your new sensor ID and get rid of that tire light say you had on that's been bugging you. Alright, so we got the battery tester hooked up to a 2018 Silverado. See, you could scan the battery, but I don't really have much room where you got the battery tucked in, so we're just going to go ahead and continue. See, it asks for the battery type, battery capacity, VIN. You could even scan the VIN if you were close enough, but this cable is not going to reach around to the driver door, so we're just not going to put the vehicle information. We're just going to put the cold cranking amps. So this one is rated about 850. Oh my god, 850. Okay. Brand, VIN, all that, we're gonna skip because we're just trying to test the battery itself. See what it says. So for those of you who didn't know, picked up a 2018 Silverado Z71. Haven't shared on the channel yet, but I'll be doing that video pretty soon, as well as some parts we're adding on this bad boy. And according to this tester, it's saying replace battery. 8%. 78% state of charge. That's interesting. This battery doesn't look too old, but I mean, it could be a bad battery or an old battery. I think we're gonna test it on a different vehicle just to see how accurate this scan tool is. Well, maybe the Silverado does have a bad battery. I tested this on my LS400. This time I actually scanned the barcode since it was more readily visible. Just put in the cold cranking amps. You can see this battery tested out good. Although on the Silverado, there may be a chance, since I didn't have it actually on the battery post, it was just kind of on that jumper tip. That could have been the problem. Maybe if I tested it on the actual battery post like we have here, it would have been a more accurate test, but that's pretty cool to have a battery tester. Say you're doing services or even doing services at home, doing inspections. Having an all-in-one like this is really cool. And the fact that it comes with the cables, so you don't have to buy more stuff when you're already spending a lot of change on something like this. But yeah, overall rating, definitely a really cool scan tool. I really like the battery test function. I did forget to mention, you can also program new keys, key fobs, delete existing key fobs, say you lost your key fob. And yeah, as well as the tire pressure reprogramming, all the active tests, all the special functions. To me, the most useful part for a bi-directional scan tool is one, being able to read more than just check engine lights, like being able to read ABS codes, transmission faults, airbag codes, all that kind of good stuff is really nice to have in a nicer scan tool, as well as the bi-directional function controls. I feel like that's my favorite part, being able to control anything that's computer controlled in the palm of your hands is a real plus and definitely necessary when it comes to diagnosing vehicles. Really like how it comes with the battery tester included. This box is giant. For me personally, all I would use is just the battery tester and the OBD2 connection. All of this stuff I don't think I'm gonna find myself using, so maybe I'll find like a little smaller bag for this to use. But again, this is only just a few weeks of me testing it out. I will be testing it out further as I go at work, trying it out on different vehicles, so feel free to drop a comment down below if you have any questions about the scan tool, if it's capable of doing certain stuff on your specific vehicle. Maybe leave the year, make, and model number, or year, make, and model of your vehicle, and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. Appreciate any of you guys who made it this far to the video. Don't forget to drop a comment if you are interested in winning one of these for free. It would be super awesome to add to your arsenal, especially if you don't have a nice scan tool already. And it's just really cool to see all these alternatives coming out versus being limited to just what the dealer has, or big name brands like Snap-on, Matco, Cornwell, etc. that cost you like an arm and a leg. But that's all I got for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to drop a comment if you have any further questions about the scan tool, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!